right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with the real hitman, Jose Soto. Jose, how we doing, man?
Doing good, Kevin. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Had to get the nickname right, man. I'm glad I had to edit it out for you on Instagram, but yeah, we're all good. And with that being said, man, you got a fight next Friday, man. Talk to us a little bit more about that matchup in your pro debut.
I don't know, Kev, if you recently heard, but just recently, man, the commission decided to pull me from the card on June 14th due to some circumstances that I deal with my eye. The commission is not going to allow me to fight in PA. So with that happening, they pulled me from the card. That's why I was allowed to compete on the 24th for Fury. Competitions were too close. They wouldn't have let me to compete on Fury if I was competing on the 14th. Since they pulled me, I was able to compete on the 24th. And the president of the CFFC is going to has spoken to actually the commission of Jersey, and now we're moving forward with August. And there's a card in August that I'm going to be fighting on in Jersey at Atlantic City.
Very nice, very nice. Well, yeah, I did not hear about that news. I'm very glad that you got a rebook for August. And yeah, talking a little bit more about your eye. I mean, what is kind of like the hurdles you have to kind of deal with to kind of get a fight book, man?
Other than just the normal stuff, the fine arts, martial arts of just injuries, opponents pulling out, location, promotions, all that stuff. With my eye, some commissions are just a bit more strict than others, and PA is one of those commissions that has been strict with me since the very beginning. Even after the recent commissioner just left, the new one came into place. He's still kind of sitting in the seat, stern, and won't let me fight. So, which I understand, it's their job. So now I'm kind of limited to places to fight, and Jersey seems to be the place that's allowed me to fight. They let me fight as an amateur, and now they're going to let me fight as a pro.
Very nice, very nice. Well, that's awesome news, and I'm glad Jersey's letting you do that. But when it comes to grappling and stuff, how come they let you grapple over there in Philly, though?
It's interesting. I think it's because grappling it's not as dangerous. You're not getting struck in the head, no elbows, knees, punches, kicks to the face, or anything like that. It's just really grappling. So there's no real danger for me to get knocked out or break my orbital bone or anything that would cause me to have any worse injuries. So I think that's probably why jiu-jitsu is a lot more lighter of a sport compared to MMA.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And another thing I was curious about as well too. When it comes to like the commissions you're having to deal with early, does that maybe like affect your mental state at all? Of like maybe worrying about like like maybe the UFC will never sign me one day or anything, even though you will have maybe the talent one day.
Yeah, man. That's probably what I thought about most of my career, even now, dealing with these kind of things. It's always, why am I doing this? As much time as I've been putting in, why am I doing it? I know what I do it for, but ultimately, what if all this happens and I'm putting all this time and work in just for somebody outside of me or something outside of myself to stop me from being able to do what I truly love doing, and I know I have great, great, great potential in. So it's definitely bearing on the mind. Patience is bitter. However, the fruit is far more sweeter, and I've stayed the course. I've maintained uh, the pathway to get to where I'm going, and now I have an opportunity to go pro in August.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're definitely looking forward to it. And speaking about a bunch of hurdles that you have to deal with, you train with another beast in the gym, Joe Pyfer. With Joe Pyfer, I mean, he was obviously one of your coaches in that grappling match as well too. But with that being said, I mean, what's some of your favorite memories with Joe Pyfer?
We're honestly we're still building them, man. I will say as of recent, taking me to Vegas, his fight against Abdul Hassan. That was my first time ever being in Vegas. That was my first time really on the UFC scene, being in there, living the UFC lifestyle, seeing the media, all that stuff, and what it takes to be a UFC fighter and what goes into fight week. So I think that's probably the most recent one. However, I think coming up June 29th, he's on the McGregor card. I think that might top it. So I'm looking forward for that one.
Yeah, yeah, no, that will definitely be a lot of fun, no doubt. And another person you train with in the gym is another guy we just had on the show on his birthday, actually, believe it or not, was Cade Baradelli. I mean, talk to us a little bit more about him, man.
Oh yeah, CB, that's my boy right there. Cade, he's a great kid. He's put in a phenomenal position. He's with the right team. Um, he's on his way. In simple words, he's on his way. He's got the right people around him. He's got the right foundation. He had a little bit of wrestling growing up. And I think overall he's in the perfect scenario to do whatever it is he sets his mind to. So as long as he sets his mind to it, he's within reach. He's got the right team around him. He's got the right coaches. We're all dialed in, and he's very fortunate to have the beginning of his career be like this.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And getting back to your fighting career, man. I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite drills that you like to hit in the gym every day?
Um, Honestly, man, anything we're drilling in practice, I'm a driller. I'm a killer. You teach me it, and I'll drill it until the next move is up. I don't really have favorites. I don't really tie myself to that. I feel like it's somewhat of an attachment. I don't really like to have attachments. I'm connected to certain things. I'm connected to many things actually, and that allows me to do many things in the ring, on the mats, etc.
Yeah, definitely. And when it just comes to like training and stuff, what's kind of like the vibes like in the gym? What kind of music are you listening to when you're training?
Um, it's very in some cases you have practice in Philly where it's a bit rugged, rough. If you got the music going, hip hop, rap, it's a bit more brutal. It's hot in there, and then you got your gym in Washington Township, Web Fitness MMA, that you got that AC on. It's cool. It's nice. Everyone's pretty easygoing. It's jujitsu, so it's not too hard, too rough. We get after it though. It's grappling. We get after it, but for the most part, you definitely have your yin and yang. In Philly, we get down and dirty, and in Washington Township, we get sharp and clean.
I like it. I like it. Now, getting down and dirty when talking about Philly or just like in general, man. Do you happen to have any street fights that you were in, or and maybe some funny stories when it comes to that?
Man, I grew up fighting. Definitely grew up fighting. I As much as I can remember, that's just kind of what it was. Especially with how I grew up. I grew up in the ghetto, and I didn't grow up in Philly. I grew up in New Jersey, Millville, New Jersey, and it's a very small town. And some would call it the donut, where it's sweet on the outside and there's nothing in the middle. And I lived in the middle, and there was definitely a lot of stuff going on: drugs, gangs, fights, all that stuff. So I was definitely mixed in there, and having my fair share and earning my stripes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And when it comes to training and stuff too, talk to us a little bit more about how you kind of had to earn your stripes when it comes to training and stuff.
Um, it takes time, honestly. You definitely take some bumps along the way, but for the most part, you gotta stay consistent, stay persistent, and give yourself grace, see the growth along the way, and sooner or later you start to connect the dots, and it'll come naturally as long as you stay consistent with it and persist on the path. It'll come naturally to you. So it doesn't really. There's no real, I guess, moment of mine that I've had or things that happen where I'm just like, that is how I earn my keep, or that's how I level up. It's every day. Every day we're doing something to improve. Every day it's something effective, efficient, and just staying the course. Some days I'm gonna suck. Some days I'm gonna do good, and along the way it'll form up. And by the time it's time to compete, I'll be ready.
Yeah, no, definitely. And before you got on this interview, you were obviously doing a little bit of training before you hopped on. And what's kind of your daily schedule like? And when you're training, and then also your schedule for recovery as well too.
I train every day, primarily. The schedule, as far as that goes, it's always changing. Especially being a martial artist, you have different fights coming up, different styles you're getting ready for. So preparation is always different. Recovery varies. I think recovery is one of those things where you kind of have to listen to the body. I think we all kind of have a day where we rest and Sunday, but for the most part, say you may miss a practice because your body's feeling run down from training over the last couple of days or weeks. It's important to give yourself that rest and recovery, that day to fully recover and get acclimated to the next session. Um, it doesn't it doesn't come at a specific time. It's just like I said, it's a feel of the body. I feel my body. I feel where I'm at, how I'm feeling when I'm waking up, how I'm feeling when I'm going to bed, and making sure that I'm stretching my mobility, my knees over toe, all those things play a part, and it's just periodically
Yeah.
micromanaging.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. That definitely makes sense. And when it comes to your fighting career so far, I mean, what's maybe some of the best advice you got so far in your MMA career?
The best advice that I've gotten in my career, I honestly, I got this from just kind of stumbling upon something, just reading something, and something that I like to remind myself constantly. It's we are what we've been waiting for, and as long
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
remind myself that we are what we've been waiting for, it allows us to step into that role and take accountability and responsibility for what's ahead, and to really step into the role and maximize.
yeah, yeah. No, definitely, man. And getting back to your grappling match as well, too. I mean, with you getting ready to debut on the pro scene, is CFFC grappling still something you'd like to do in the future, or are you looking to just stick to MMA?
Um, Definitely early on in the MMA career, I want to try and get into everything. I'd like to do grappling. I'd like to even do their Muay Thai, kickboxing action. All of it, as much as I can get, as much experience as I can get until the UFC comes calling. And then once we get there, then we'll focus on just the UFC, obviously, because contract reasons. But for the most part, before that, I'd like to jump into all avenues.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And speaking of the UFC, I mean, how long do you think it could take until maybe we could see you into a bigger promotion one day?
I've heard, I've heard many things. It could be quick, could be long. I can't really put a timetable on it myself. Um, Really because of how my experience has gone so far. I didn't expect to start out 0-4 as an MMA fighter, as an amateur. So things kind of take its course and things happen along the way. Even after picking up 4 wins in a row, um, it's still slow. So doesn't matter about the wins. It's really about the people you know and the connections you make. And I'll do my job. I'll get the job done. And the people around me, they'll network. They'll make the connections. They'll make the calls. And when they come calling, it'll be time.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And a lot of these fighters, they like to come on the UFC on short notice. I mean, would that be something you'd like to do as well too? If you got a call, maybe short notice one time.
Personally, for me, no. I probably wouldn't want to do short notice. There's something going on here, and if the promotion knows anything about it, they'd like to build this up properly as far as giving me the proper platform to promote myself. And this isn't anything you want to take short notice on. As far as me taking opponents short notice, yeah, if I had a fight already set, date already set, and I'm the one getting ready for the fight, and then there's a pull out or something, and I have a short notice opponent that's stepping in, fine, perfectly fine. But as far as me training, when I'm out of camp, I'm out of camp. Not that I'm not training, but I'm in a different mindset. I'm in a different mentality. I'm simply sharpening the craft, working on different tools, adding new tools to my game. So I'm in a different headspace to be taking short notice fights. But for the most part, yeah, I'm always ready.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a solid mentality, man. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. And with that being said, obviously training with Joe Pyfer, with him being one of the studs on Dana White Contender Series. I mean, has he gave you a little bit of like insight of what to expect, or maybe like how to kind of get noticed a little bit quicker when it comes to the Contender
Uh,
Series?
um, yeah, he's kind of given me a little bit of insight. He's kind of kept it real basic with me. He's let me know that be ready, it could come fast. Doing what I do, it might not take many fights for me to get called up and go to the UFC. So just to be ready, to stay sharp, and keep doing what I'm doing, and that's just what I've been doing.
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely think that's some good advice. And one thing I always like to ask everybody I bring on the show, I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years, training for 19 years, so I just kind of love what I do and with that martial arts. And with that being said, I mean, with other guys I have in my gym, what advice do you give to them to keep on training and come on into the gym to keep on getting better and better every day?
Well, as I said before, with that quote, we are what we've been waiting for. No one's coming to save us. No one's coming to tell you to get up and go to the gym. And if you do have that, great. Very, very, very fortunate. But for the most part, most people don't. And especially in this sport, it requires self discipline, self desire to want to do this. And if you don't want to do it, probably shouldn't do it. If maybe you're feeling bad and you're having a bad day, maybe skip a day. You know that you need a day off. But for the most part, if this is something you love doing, if this is something you love doing, and you really, really want to make something of it, you're the only one that can do it. You're the only one that can set your mind to it. You're the only one that's going to be able to save you. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to show you the ropes or give you the steps. You may have people along the way that'll guide you in seasons and chapters, but for the most part, it's you. The story sticks with you. So, stay the course. The patience is bitter. The fruit is far more sweeter, though. You do this long enough, you will get a return. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely think that's a solid message. And one other thing I was curious about as well too. What do you typically like to do outside of the cage, man?
Typically what I do is hike, I camp. I just had a little girl, so being a father is being great. I've been here taking care of the fort and making sure she's good. She's taking a nap right now. So yeah, that's been new for me. But most part, it's been hiking, camping. I love what I do. So if I have free time and I can, I'll go outside. I'll shadow box. I'll do things that'll help me improve in some way, shape, or form. This is my lifestyle. I love what I do. Some days it sucks. Some days I don't feel like doing it. But for the most part, I love it. And any chance I get, I maximize and I'll do it.
I love it. I love it. No, it definitely sounds awesome. And congratulations on being a father, man. That's definitely is awesome as well too. And with that being said, man, thank you so much for coming on the show. And what's your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
For those who are watching, stay tuned. If you happen to stumble on this video along the way, down the line, thank you and stay tuned. And my name's Jose Soto, the real hitman. And yeah, I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Kev, for interviewing me and having interest in me. This is just the beginning, and we're on our way. So, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They're gonna know the name soon. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on, man. And yeah, we're looking forward to the debut and best of luck in the future, man.
Thank you, Kev. I appreciate it, man. See
Yeah,
you then.
man.
All
All
right.
right. Yep, yep. See you soon. All right. Thank you so much.